Good morning, children. We'll proceed with exercise 7.3. This exercise, you will see the application of SSS congruence as well as RHS congruence. Question number 1. Triangle ABC and triangle DBC are two isosceles triangles on the same base BC. So the given condition is triangle ABC and triangle DBC are isosceles, means AB and AC are equal, DB and DC are also equal, and they are on the same side of BC. A and D are on the same side of BC. Vertices A and D are on the same side of BC, and AD is extended to intersect DC at P. Show that number 1, ABD congruent to triangle ACD. Triangle ABD, what is to prove? The first part is triangle ABD congruent to triangle ACD. There are 4 parts to be proved. Let's prove it separate. Triangle ABD congruent to triangle ACD. Now, the triangle ABD and ACD, it is very visible. We will use the given condition as AB and AC are equal, DB and DC are equal, and what do you see as common for both the triangles? The common side of AD, which shows that the triangles are congruent by SSS criteria. Let's prove it. Prove. In triangles ABD and ACD, AB equal to AC given, DB equal to DC also they have given, and the only condition AD equal to AD common, you are finding it out. Therefore, triangle ABD congruent to triangle ACD by SSS criteria, and now you can take the corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Therefore, angle 1 is equal to angle 2 CPCP. Then, so that CPCP condition is taken. The next part of the proof is show triangle ABP congruent to triangle ACP. ABP and ACP. The second part, in triangles ABP and ACP, what do you see? AB equal to AC, already the given condition. AB is equal to AC. Can you see AP as common? AP is equal to AP common, and angle 1 is equal to angle 2. We already proved here. Proved. Therefore, triangle ABP congruent to triangle ACP by, take one triangle AB, AP and angle 1 by SAS criteria. So that triangle is also proved. Next, we have to show that an AP bisects angle A as well as it bisects angle D also. Now, angle 1 is equal to angle 2 as we proved here, which definitely shows that AD, from this triangle AD bisects angle A. Since it is the same line, because in the question it is given that AD is extended to the point P, it is very well understood that ADP all are in a straight line. So, since angle 1 is equal to angle 2, AD bisects angle A, also ADP are in a straight line. Therefore, AP bisects angle A. That means AP is bisecting angle A. Now we have to prove that it is also bisecting angle D. We have to prove that AP bisects angle D. For that, prove the triangle DPC congruent to triangle DPB. Now, the third part. In triangles DPB and DPC, DB is equal to DC, then DP equal to DP common, and you have proved ABP congruent to ACP. There we can take BP is equal to CP as CP which can be used here as BP is equal to CP proved. Therefore, triangle DPB congruent to triangle DPC by SS is, again this angle is equal to 3 is equal to 4, 5 is equal to 6. Angle 3 is equal to angle 4, CPCT. Angle 5 is equal to angle 6 also, CPCT. What is the meaning of 3 equal to 4? DP bisects angle D. Since angle 3 is equal to angle 4, DP bisects angle D, or the same line, AP bisects angle D. Now, 5 is equal to 6. Angle 5 is equal to angle 6, already proved. Thus, we are going to prove that AP is the perpendicular bisector of BC. Angle 5 is equal to angle 6 proved, but angle 5 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 linear pair, which shows that angle 5 is equal to angle 6 is equal to 90 degree. Now, we know BP is equal to PC. We know 5 and 6 is equal to 90 degree, which shows that AP is a perpendicular bisector. We'll give the conclusion as, since BP equal to PC proved and angle 5 is equal to angle 6 is equal to 90 degree, therefore AP is a perpendicular bisector. AP is a perpendicular bisector of BC. This is the proof, question number 1. Question 2. AD is an altitude of isosceles triangle ABC in which AB equal to AC. Show that AD bisects BC, AD bisects angle A. AD is an altitude. So what is given is AD is an altitude which shows that angle 1 is equal to, angle 2 is equal to 90 degree. It's an isosceles triangle with AB equal to AC. So both the conditions to prove will be as CPCT when if you prove the two triangles are congruent. What is to prove is AD bisects BC and AD bisects angle A. If you want to prove that AD bisects BC, that means you have to prove BD and DC are equal. If you have to prove AD bisects angle A, you have to prove 3 and 4 are equal. So the two triangles are triangle ADB and ADC. In triangles ADB and ADC, the first condition is AB equal to AC given. The second condition is angle 1 is equal to angle 2 90 degree. What is the third criteria? You can see that AD is common. AD equal to AD common. Therefore, triangle ADB is congruent to triangle ADC by right angle hypotenuse side by RHS. Now, therefore, BD is equal to DC as CPCT. Also, angle 3 is equal to angle 4 as CPCT. That is question number 2. Question number 3. Two sides AB and BC and median AM of one triangle ABC. Two sides AB, AC and median AM. AB, AC and median means a line to the midpoint of BC. That's the meaning of median. Median AM of triangle ABC are respectively equal to the sides PQ, QR and median PN. PQ, QR and median PN. So that means the given condition is, once again, two sides AB, BC and median of triangle ABC are respectively equal to the sides means AB is corresponding with PQ. Then BC is corresponding with QR. BC is equal to QR and the median AM and PN are equal. What is to prove is triangle ABM congruent to triangle PQN. The first part is the triangle to prove triangle ABM congruent to triangle PQN. And now AB and PQ are already equal. Then AM and PN are also already equal. What do you need is either angle BAM is equal to angle QPN or angle side BM is equal to QN, so that either SAS or SSS will be satisfied. Now, the condition of BC is equal to QR we know, and what are points M and N for BC and QR? They are midpoints. Since these two sides are equal, if you take half of it, the length of BM and QN are also equal. So, we will be proving this by SSS. Now, proof. Take the first condition of number 1. In triangles ABM and PQN, first condition AB and PQ, which is given. The second condition of AM is equal to PN also is a given condition. For the third condition, take BC is equal to QR. Immediately take half BC is equal to half QR. How do you call half BC? As BM is equal to QN. Here you write the reason, since M and N are midpoints of BC and QR, or you can write since AM and PN are the medians. And then from 1, 2 and 3, you can prove that triangle ABM is congruent to triangle PQN by SSS criteria. Immediately angle B is equal to angle Q as CPCT. And now you have to prove triangle ABC congruent to triangle PQR. It's very clear by SAS. Second part of the proof is in triangles ABC, PQR. In triangle ABC, PQR, AB is equal to PQ given, BC equal to QR is also given, angle B is equal to angle Q proved, Therefore, triangle ABC congruent to triangle PQR by SAS congruency, and that is question number 3. Question number 4. BE and CF are two equal altitudes of triangle ABC. So given a triangle ABC, BE and CF are two equal altitudes. Two equal altitudes, it's given here. Using RHS congruence, prove that triangle ABC is isosceles. So you have to use the RHS congruence. So given angle 1 is equal to angle 2 is equal to 90 degree and BE is equal to CF, and what is to prove is triangle ABC is isosceles. Now, since it is given by RHS, let's take the triangle BFC proof. In triangles, you can see the overlapping triangles here. In triangles BFC and BEC, the first part, angle 1 is equal to angle 2 is equal to 90 degree given. BE is equal to CF is also given, and what is the common? The common side is BC. BC is equal to BC common. Therefore, triangle BFC is congruent to triangle BEC. Take one triangle and see. Take triangle BFC. You have taken a right angle. You have taken the side opposite to it as hypotenuse, and you have considered one side, which shows that it is by RHS congruence. Therefore, in triangle BFC, you can see angle B is equal to angle C as CPCT. If angle B and angle C are equal, therefore, AB equal to AC, sides opposite to equal angles in triangle ABC. Since AB equal to AC, triangle ABC is isosceles. AC is isosceles. Or even with angle B equal to angle C, it is understood, but write the reasons. The last one, ABC is an isosceles triangle with AB equal to AC. ABC is an isosceles triangle given AB and AC are equal. Draw AP perpendicular to BC. Draw AP perpendicular to BC. That means it's a perpendicular. Angle 1 and angle 2 are 90 degree. Show that angle B is equal to angle C. So angle 1 is equal to angle 2 is equal to 90 degree also is given. What is to prove is angle B is equal to angle C. Get the two triangles as in triangles APB and APC. The first condition is AB is equal to AC. Second condition is angle 1 is equal to angle 2 is equal to 90 degree. Both are given condition. Angle 1, then AB you have taken, which is the common side. Number 3, AP is equal to AP common. Therefore, triangle APB is congruent to triangle APC. Again, right angle, hypotenuse, side by RHS. Therefore, angle B equal to angle C as corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Thus, the exercise is based on the congruence of triangles are over. Even the worked out examples you can practice because many worked out examples are there, and now you can work out on your own since you understood the criteria very well, how to use the criteria to prove triangle congruence. The next concept in this lesson is inequalities in triangle. That means so far we were discussing about equality of sides or equality of angles in case of an isosceles triangle. What is the relation if two sides of a triangle are unequal in length. Let's see. The picture shows that AC, given triangle ABC, you can see very clearly that AC length is greater than AB length. The length of AC is greater than the length of AB. What is the angle opposite to AC is angle B, and what is the angle opposite to AB is angle C. From the figure, it is very clear that the magnitude of angle B will always be greater than the magnitude of angle C. So derive a property based on this. What is the property you can derive is, if two sides of a triangle are unequal in length, you can use the word longer for the side and greater for the angle. So what is the property? If two sides of a triangle are unequal in length, longest side has greater angle opposite to it. So if two sides of a triangle are unequal, the condition is longest side has greater angle opposite to it. So what will be the converse? The converse statement is greater angle in a triangle, greater angle has longest side opposite to it. That means you can use vice versa too. Then the third property regarding triangle is, in a triangle, sum of any two sides is always greater than the third side. While the construction of triangle itself, it is very visible that the sum of two sides of a triangle should always be greater than the third side. Or in smaller classes, you were checking whether the given measures can be the measure of a triangle if you add any two sides or all the pairs of sides. Like if you take two sides at a time, if the sum is not greater than the third side, then the triangle construction is not possible. Similarly, so the property is derived as, in a triangle, the sum of any two sides is always greater than the third side. So these are the three properties by which the next exercise we will be proceeding with. Copy only the statements in your notebooks. Exercise 7.4, question number 1. Show that in a right-angled triangle, the hypotenuse is the longest side. So, given a right-angled triangle, right-angled at B, given triangle ABC, in which angle B is equal to 90 degree. So the general definition of a hypotenuse is the side opposite to the right angle. Which is the side opposite to the right angle? That is AC. So what is to prove is AC is the longest. AC is the longest. Let us take separately the pair of sides. Proof. In triangle ABC, now angle B is 90 degree. Therefore, angle A and angle C are definitely acute. That means they will be below 90 degree. Let us take it separately. Now, angle B greater than angle A And second case is angle B greater than angle C. If angle B is greater than angle A, opposite to B is AC and opposite to A is BC. Similarly, here also AC is greater than opposite is AB. Both sides, the reason is greater angle has longer side opposite to it. See here, from 1 and 2, you can just give the proof as from 1 and 2, AC is greater than BC, AC is greater than AB, which shows that AC is the longest side. You have to prove both the cases. Then only we can prove that that is the longest side. The second question in this exercise is question number 2. Sides AB and AC of triangle ABC are extended to the point P and Q. Sides AB and AC are extended to the points P and Q. Points P and Q. Also, PBC is smaller than PBC is smaller than QCB. So what is given is angle 1 is smaller than angle 2. Prove that AC is greater than AB. What is to prove is AC is greater than AB. And now here just give these angles as 3 and 4. Since AP is a straight line, proof. Since AP is a line, that means it is the same side AB extended, angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree, equation number 1 by linear pair axiom. Similarly, angle 1, angle 2 plus angle 4 is also 180 degree with the same reason. From 1 and 2, we can prove that angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to angle 2 plus angle 4. Now, apply the logic. Since 1 is smaller than 2, that means angle 1 is smaller than angle 2 and the equation 1 plus 3 and 2 plus 4 are equal, which shows that automatically angle 3 should be greater than angle 4. So, since angle 1 is smaller than angle 2, angle 3 has to be greater than angle 4 to make equation 3 true. Let me take an example and tell you. The relation is 1 plus 3 is equal to 2 plus 4 and 1 should be smaller than 2. Let's take angle 1 as 20 degree and angle 2 as 40 degree. And the total I want is 100. That means the left hand side is 20 plus angle 3 has to be 100 degree or 3 is 80 degree. RHS is 40 plus angle 4 is equal to 100 degree, which shows that 4 is equal to 60 degree. You can see that 3 is 80 and 4 is 60, which shows that 3 should be greater than 4. Any example you take, any total you take, this condition will be satisfied. That is, since 1 plus 3 is equal to 2 plus 4 and angle 1 is smaller than angle 2, angle 3 has to be greater than angle 4. Opposite to angle 3 is AC. Therefore, AC is greater than AB. What is the reason here? Greater angle has longer side opposite to it. So, this is a logical reasoning You need not give this for the exam, but you can understand by this, referring to this example. Question number 3. In the figure, angle B is smaller than angle A. Angle B, it's given that angle B is smaller than angle A, and the second condition is C smaller than D. And what is to prove is AD is smaller than BC. It's a very simple proof. Since B is smaller than A, B is smaller than A. You can take it as, since A greater than B, to easily understand, since A greater than B, that is OB is greater than OA, equation number 1. Similarly, since C smaller than D means take it as angle D greater than C. Angle D is greater than C, that means OC is greater than OD, equation number 2. And what is the reason? From angle you are getting the side. So, greater angle has longer side opposite to it. What should be done with equations 1 and 2? To prove is AD smaller than BC. What is OB plus OC? OB plus OC. OB plus OC is greater than OA plus OD. What is OB plus OC? That is BC is greater than AD, or it is very well the same as AD is smaller than BC. It's a very simple proof and it can be asked as a 2-mark question. Number 4, very important question. AB and CD are respectively the smallest and longest side of a quadrilateral ABCD. Underline the word smallest and longest. Number 4, ABCD is a quadrilateral. ABCD. So what is the given condition is? AB is the smallest and CD is the longest. AB is the smallest and CD is the longest side. What is to prove is, the first one, angle A greater than angle C, and the second one, angle B greater than angle D. And now, to prove angle A greater than angle C, just join these two and mark the angles as per, we will take both the triangles. Now, proof, mark the angles. Take the triangles separately. In triangles ABC, in triangle ABC, now see here, AB is the smallest, means what? AB is smaller than BC. So immediately BC is greater. You can take it as AB is the smallest means BC is greater than AB. Opposite to BC is angle 1, greater than opposite to AB is angle 3, equation number 1. Similarly, in triangle ADC, then CD is the longest. So CD is greater than AD. What is opposite to CD is angle 2. Opposite to AD is angle 4. 2 greater than 4. Equation number 2, the only one reason that longer side has greater angle opposite to it. Adding 1 and 2. Adding equations 1 and 2. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is greater than 3 plus 4. 1 plus 2 is angle A is greater than angle C. How do you prove angle B greater than angle D is? Join, take it as 5, 6, 7, 8. Which are the triangles? Let's prove the second part by joining the diagonal BD, taking the angles as 5, 6, 7, 8, or you can also draw a separate picture and mark 1, 2, 3, 4 and then you can write the proof as I'm explaining here. For the second part, in triangle, you have to get 5 plus 6 greater than 7 plus 8. So the triangle is ABD. In triangle ABD, AB is the shortest, means AD greater than AB. Therefore, what is the angle? 5 greater than 7. Angle 5 greater than angle 7. Similarly, in triangle BCD, again, CD is the longest side. So, CD greater than BC, or you are getting 6 greater than 8. Angle 6 greater than angle 8. The same reason as you can mention. Therefore, angle 5 plus angle 6 is greater than angle 7 plus angle 8, or angle B is greater than angle D. Now, this is a very important 3-mark question. Question number 5. In the figure, PR is greater than PQ. PR is greater than PQ. So, the given condition is, in triangle PQR, PR is greater than PQ. Then the next condition is PS bisects angle QPR. PS bisects angle QPR. And what is to prove? To prove is angle PSR is greater than PSQ. Angle PSR is greater than angle PSQ. Let's see with the angle numbers. PS bisects QPR means angle 1 and angle 2 are equal. Next, triangle PR is greater than PQ means definitely angle 5 is greater than angle 6. And you can see two triangles here. Let's apply angle sum property of triangle and apply the logical condition as we did in a previous sum. So, proof. In triangle PQR, PR is greater than PQ. The length of PR is greater than length of PQ means therefore angle 5 greater than angle 6, equation number 1. You can write here, longer side has greater angle opposite to it. Second condition is, since PS bisects angle QPR, angle 1 is equal to angle 2, that also mark it as equation number 2. Now, apply angle sum property. That means, in triangles PQS, PSR, what you are proving? Angle 1 plus angle 5 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degree, and angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 6 is also 180 degree angle sum property of triangle. Therefore, what can you say? Angle 1 plus angle 5 plus angle 4 is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 6. Angle 2, angle 3 and angle 6. Now, since 1 and 2 are equal, we can cancel from both sides. Therefore, you can write here from equation number 2. That is, angle 5 plus angle 4 is equal to angle 3 plus angle 6. Now, since 5 is greater than 6, 5 is greater than 6, and automatically this has to be an equality symbol which shows that angle 4 has to be smaller than 3 or 3 has to be greater than 4. PSR is 3 greater than 4. Since angle 5 is greater than angle 6 from 1, to make equation 3 true, we have to definitely, since 5 is greater than 6, angle 4 has to be smaller than angle 3, or 3 greater than 4, that is angle PSR greater than angle PSQ. That is the logical reasoning you can give for this question. Question number 6. Show that of all the line segments drawn from a given point not on it, the perpendicular is the shortest. You must be wondering, why did I write the question? Because it has to be studied as a property. It is very useful property which is used in your future classes also. That is, if of all the line segments that can be drawn from an external point to a line, that means you are given a line AB and an external point P. Of all the line segments that can be drawn from this external point, let's plot at least 2-3 lines in any direction. Let's take this as PM, PN, PQ and PR. The perpendicular is the shortest. We have to prove that PS is the shortest. I hope you understood this by this drawing, because as in the first question, in a right triangle, you understood that AC is the longest or the altitude is the shortest. Let's take what is given here. AB is a line, P is an external point, and few line segments PM, PN, PQ, PR are lines from point P. And what is to prove is PS is the shortest. That is, PS, the perpendicular is the shortest. That means it is given that angle 1 is 90 degree. Let's take this as angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, etc. Take the triangles. In triangle PSN, angle 1 is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, angle 2 smaller than angle 1 or 1 is greater than 2, which shows that 1 is greater than 2 means PN is greater than PS. Similarly, angle 1 greater than angle 3, which shows that PM is greater than PS. In which triangle? In triangle PSM. Same way, PSQ. In triangle PSQ, again, angle 2 greater than, if you take this side, angle 2 greater than angle 4, therefore PQ is greater than PS. In triangle PSR, angle 2 greater than angle 5, therefore PR is greater than PS, and so on. And so on, therefore, and what is the reason you will write? Single reason here, greater angle has longer side opposite to it. And you can write, this happens for any point on AB other than S. That means wherever you take the point here on the line segment, definitely that particular line starting from P to that point will be longer than PS, or PS is the shortest. That is, the perpendicular is the shortest line segment that can be drawn from an external point to a given line. It's a very important property. Please study the property. And this is the end of lesson 7 or chapter 7, triangles.